Hey guys, today we're going to be taking a look at the Bihn Shadow Guide 23, which is a really durable and minimal top-loading everyday bag. And on the channel in the past, we've taken a look at this bag's larger brother, the Shadow Guide 33, which was a really great one-bag travel option. I was really impressed with just how much that bag can hold. And this one has a very similar aesthetic and organizational layout, just in a smaller package. So this is an ultra minimal everyday bag. I've been testing this out for the past month, and so far I've really enjoyed using it. The bag, like its bigger brother, has a great build quality, a really simple organizational layout, plenty of space, and it's been really comfortable to wear. So I'm very excited to share it with you guys, and I want to thank the company for sending the bag for me to test out. And with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Starting off with the outside of the bag, as far as the aesthetics and the materials, everything is pretty much identical to the larger version of the Shadow Guide, which we looked at pretty recently. So it has the same really kind of classic and minimal aesthetic. It's all black. It doesn't really have any sort of zippers or additional pockets on the outside. So just keeping things very, very simple. I really like this aesthetic as it's going to blend in well into a ton of different environments, whether you're walking around the city or taking it into the outdoors. I also really like just, if you're traveling, it's just something that doesn't really scream like you have a lot of expensive stuff in the bag. And then you also have, again, the Bihn Design Lab logo along the front. The cool thing about these bags is that they're just kind of more experimental designs that the company is testing out before producing in larger quantities. And then on the exterior, you do have that same additional attachment point here on the bottom where you can attach something like a bike light. And then the materials for this one, like the larger bag, we have 525D ballistic nylon, which feels very durable, like it's going to hold up to rougher usage, and it also offers a nice amount of weather resistance. And then for the few zippers that you have on the bag, they're YKK with reverse coil zippers, and they also have a DWR coating, so it really feels like your stuff is going to be very well protected even if you happen to get caught in some rain. And then taking a look at the capacity, the bag comes in at about 23 liters, which is a really great daily bag size in my opinion. I was easily able to hold all the items that I normally like to carry with me, and this is a very generous 23 liters of capacity. It really feels like you can hold a lot more than you can in many other similarly sized bags just due to the simple layout that this has. And I like that even when the bag is a little bit more packed out, it maintains a pretty slim silhouette, making it great for navigating crowded areas or jumping onto public transit. In the footage here, you can see a side-by-side of the 23-liter version and the larger 33-liter size, just so you can get a sense of the difference. So that 33-liter size is going to be a great one-bag travel option. You can really pack it out for a week of travel very easily. And then if you have a little bit of a smaller frame or you prefer something that's a little more daily focused, then this 23-liter version from this video may be a better option to consider. And then one last thing I wanted to call out about kind of the exterior and the capacity is this shape on the bottom. So you'll notice that the bottom of the bag isn't completely flat. It's actually angled up a little bit, which I didn't really talk about in the review for the 33-liter version of the bag. And Bihn's reasoning for this is that it prevents the weight of the bag from pulling it off your back. So this kind of shifts the weight inward to make it a more comfortable carry. You're not able to stand the bag up on its own, unfortunately, because of this shape, but I have found that it does a pretty good job of helping to keep the weight a little bit better distributed. Continuing on with the straps and the back paneling, so far the bag has been very comfortable to wear. Here you have the same edgeless straps that we've seen on bags like the Scenic 30 and 22, as well as the larger version of this bag. And this style works very nicely. It has a very comfortable kind of soft gel-like padding that's pretty dense. As I've mentioned in the other videos, unfortunately there's no sort of mesh liner here to help prevent moisture from building up, but the width of the straps does work very nicely, particularly for this size of bag, to help prevent the bag from digging into your shoulders even when it's a little bit more packed out. On the straps you also have this adjustable and removable sternum strap to help distribute the weight. And then at the bottom you do also have the ability to add a waist belt that's included with the bag. You have this kind of simple strap, which I'm not normally a big fan of. I usually just take it off, so I like that you can fully remove this. One thing that I thought was interesting when I saw the promo video for Bihn's bag with this is that they actually attach the waist belt and then use that as a way to rotate the bag around while taking the straps off. It actually holds the bag in place so you can reach into the top pocket. So this isn't something that I would normally do too regularly, but when I tested it out, it actually worked a little bit better than I expected. So a nice use case, even though this is a pretty simple strap, but as I mentioned, normally I just like to leave it off, particularly since this is a smaller bag. Moving into the back paneling, this has also been really comfortable. I love the design that's been included here. You know, they have this new skeleton back panel that's meant to more mimic the human spine. So you have some nice kind of cutouts here in the foam that are gonna help with ventilation while you're walking around. You also have this nice kind of mesh liner on the back to help, you know, prevent moisture from building up. This is the material that I wish would have been on the straps as well. For me personally, I just prefer to have that extra bit of ventilation. You also have some elevation here in the middle to create some air channels. So overall, a really nice improvement over the back panel designs that we've seen on the Cynic and Synapse line, and something that I hope to see in more Tom Bihn bags in the future. And then also on the back paneling, you have a removable frame sheet that's included with the bag. It has an aluminum stay that you can kind of adjust to match up with the curve of your back. So it's nice that that's actually included with the bag to provide some structure and help distribute the weight, but that you can also remove it if you prefer to not have it as part of the bag. And then jumping into the organizational options, since we're on the back panel already, I'll go ahead and start with the laptop compartment. So it has this very nice side access zipper here, and I really like how large this zipper is to make it very easy to get your device in and out of the bag. And so it's a pretty straight zipper, which is a little bit different from the Cynic. So I really like this opening a lot more. On the inside, I currently have my 13-inch MacBook Pro, which fits in there very comfortably. You can see there's a little bit of space left over at the top, so you could probably fit a 15-inch laptop, but it might be a little bit of a tighter squeeze. So the compartment itself offers a decent amount of padding. Unfortunately, it's not super suspended off the bottom of the ground. Really, when you place the bag down and you lean it forward a little bit, you can see how the laptop might make contact. But besides that, it's pretty well padded. On the inside, there's no sort of fleece lining or anything like that. But I really like having the side access zipper so I can get my laptop out quickly without having to undo the top compartment. So pulling my laptop out, now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. And so this does come up a pretty decent amount. So if you have a thicker device, it should be able to fit in here okay. And you know, again, I'm a little bit sad that the compartment isn't more suspended off the bottom of the ground to just kind of give you that extra peace of mind. But in general, it still feels like my device is going to be pretty well protected while I'm running around throughout the day. And so next up, we're going to take a look at the quick access pocket on the top. And for this quick access pocket and the main area, the layout is completely identical to the larger version of this bag. The biggest difference is just the space that's offered. So I've done a little bit more of a daily carry loadout so you can get a feel for the difference in items that I pack for minimal travel versus EDC as I have it here. And so opening this pocket up, you know, the size of this compartment, even though this is the smaller bag, is really incredible. I mean, you can fit a ton of stuff. You can get a sense here when it's packed out of just how big it is. It just offers a ton of volume for anything that you need to get to while you're on the go. And I like that it allows you to store some bulkier items just due to the amount of volume that it has. And so jumping in, the first thing that I have here is the Tom Bihn handy little thing pouch. This is the smaller version of that pouch. Since this is the smaller version of the bag, I figured I'd switch it up. And this has these nice double-sided carabiner clips that allow me to attach it to the O-rings that are included throughout the bag. So this kind of just helps me keep this in place so I can pull it out, get what I need, and not have to worry about it falling out or anything like that. And then on this O-ring, I also have a little lanyard that Tom Bihn includes with the bag, which is a great spot to attach something like your keys or a multi-tool. And then diving into the volume of the bag, as you can see, just a big bucket of space. No sort of additional organization offered here, but a great spot for pouches or maybe for placing some larger headphones. Currently what I have in here, first up, is this Matador pocket blanket that I like to have with me, particularly when I'm doing a picnic or something outside. And then I also tossed in the remote for my DJI Mavic Mini. And then the last thing that I currently have in here is my GoPro Hero 3 Plus. And then in order to get into the main volume of the bag, you have these two adjustable buckles, which is really nice to be able to kind of compress and expand the volume depending on how much stuff you're carrying with you. And you can really tighten this down to prevent water from getting inside. The buckles feel very durable and they're easy to open. It's unfortunate that the system isn't the most quick access, but you know, it works well for this style of bag. And so before jumping into the main compartment, on the flap of the pocket that we just looked at, you have two additional zippered compartments that are going to be great for just some smaller items that you want to grab quickly. And so on one of them, you have a spot that has plenty of volume. Currently what I have here is my Ray-Ban sunglasses with their case. On the inside of these pockets, you also have an O-ring if you want to attach something like a lanyard or some of Tom Bihn's other pouches that they sell. And then on the other side, similarly sized pocket. Really love these zipper pulls that are included here. I hadn't mentioned these before, but they just have a very nice tactile feel. You can get a good grip on them and they're not so overwhelmingly big. And in this pocket, I just tossed in my BluePot portable Bluetooth speaker and power bank. And then taking a look at the main compartment, you have this drawstring closure here that allows you to tighten down the opening to really prevent the sides from peeking out from under the flap and possibly allowing rain in. It also gives you a little bit of flexibility with how much capacity you use on the bag. So this is a nice system. And in the last video that I did for the larger shadow guide, I talked a little bit about some of the benefits of a top loading bag like this. In general, clamshell style bags have become very popular. I really like using them for travel as I can easily see everything that's in the bag. But a bag like this does offer a nice amount of reliability. You know, not having a zipper that goes around the bag really reduces the failure points that you can have. The buckles, you know, are very reliable, and then you have this drawstring closure. So it just keeps things very, very simple. There's really just low probability that the bag is ever going to fail on you. In addition, you have the very durable external materials that we mentioned earlier. So this simplicity really helps add some peace of mind. And then you have this really nice loop on the inside, and this is really where it's nice to have this top loading style because you can actually hang the bag up while it's open and all of your stuff isn't going to fall out. So I've taken bags like this to the gym and I haven't been able to hang them up because the clamshell style just kind of makes me feel like everything is going to spill out. So I can hang this up while I'm at the gym if I want to take my clothes out and just have this, you know, kind of in the bathroom stall while I'm changing or something like that. This is very convenient to pair with this style of bag. And then on the inside, you just have a very large bucket of space. So this is just kind of the most minimalist bag that you can find. And because of that, you just are able to hold a ton of stuff. Even bulkier items fit in here very comfortably in this smaller 23-liter size. So jumping into what I currently have, I tossed in this kind of medium-sized packing cube that I featured in a few different videos from Alpaca. And this is meant to represent kind of a lunchbox size in my opinion. So if you're somebody who likes to take a lunch, you can toss that in there very easily. And then on the sides of the bag, you have a few O-rings similar to what we saw in the top compartment. So you can pair that with a variety of carabiners or accessories and pouches. Tom Bihn sells a ton of these. And I just attached some of the ones that I normally use. So I have this small pouch from Topo Designs that has some small accessories that I like to carry with me that I want to be able to grab quickly and I don't want them floating down into the bottom of the bag. And then I also tossed in my Matador Nano Dry Shower Towel, which also comes with a carabiner and I can just reach it easily. And then on the inside, it's a little bit unfortunate that it's kind of all black, so it becomes difficult to see on the inside of the bag. Something a little lighter with more contrast might have been better, particularly since you can't open this up fully. You kind of just have to dig through and peek in to grab whatever you need. And I also have a lot of black accessories, which doesn't work quite well with the black interior, but you know, it's not that big of a bag, so I can just reach down and grab what I need. So kind of just walking through the more daily focused items that I have with me in this bag. I tossed in my water bottle. This is the 20-ounce water bottle that you've seen in a lot of my videos. Unfortunately, there's no external pocket to hold that on the outside of the bag. And then I also tossed in my Beats Studio wireless headphones. And then down near the bottom, I have my DJI Mavic Mini case. And then I also tossed in a full-size Moleskine notebook. And then down near the bottom, I also tossed in my Bellroy Classic pouch. You can see I just keep pulling things out and I still had leftover space. And then the last item that I have in here is my Levitate portable standing desk, which fit in there very easily as well. And so now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. Very simple layout here, just a big bucket of space. Hopefully you can see all the way down towards the bottom there. On the back of the compartment, you do have a lighter gray lining that helps with visibility a little bit, but you know, it's kind of hard to see all the way down with the lighting that I have here, but just plenty of space in this compartment. It really is able to hold anything that I've thrown at it. And even though this is the smaller version of the bag, I was actually able to pack this out quite well for minimal travel. So I could toss in my larger double-sided packing cube, an extra pair of shoes, my dot kit, and then if I wanted to just travel extra minimally or have something that I was very confident I could take to an international airline, this would be a really solid alternative. So I just love the flexibility that this simple layout gives you throughout the entire bag. It's able to hold a ton of stuff. And similar to its bigger brother, it just offers a very solid build quality. And if you're looking for something with a classic aesthetic that's just going to keep things as simple as possible, and you have a little bit of a higher budget, then this is going to be a good option to take a look at. And so to wrap up, it's been a great experience testing out the Tom Bihn Shadow Guide 23 over the past month. The bag has a great build quality. I really like its minimal and classic aesthetic. It has plenty of space, and it's also been very comfortable to wear. And so you can currently purchase this on Tom Bihn's site for about $270, which is definitely a big investment for a minimal bag such as this. It has a fantastic build quality, and the bag is also assembled in the USA in small batches, which definitely contributes to the higher price. But there are a lot of other great bags in this price range that may be worth considering. And so as I was testing this out, the first bag this made me think of was the Tom Bihn Cynic 22. And the bags are very different aesthetically and as far as their organizational styles, but both have a similar size and build quality. The Cynic 22 is going to offer a lot more pocketing. The layout of the Cynic line is one of my favorites. It really has a spot for everything that you might need to carry with you. And I also like that the Cynic has a clamshell style opening to make the bag a little bit easier to pack out. Both are comfortable to wear, very solidly built, and if you're a fan of Tom Bihn's products and you're looking for a solid everyday bag, but this is just going to be a little too minimal for you, then the Cynic 22 is going to be a great option to take a look at. The next bag this made me think of is the Track Bannock backpack, which we also looked at pretty recently. That is a very solidly built bag, also a top loading option like this one. It has a very classic aesthetic, a very durable wax canvas build, so it just feels like a very classic bag that's going to be with you for many years to come. That one is also a very professional looking bag in my opinion. It's going to go great with a nicer outfit for taking to the office, and it has a few extra organizational options than this bag here. So if you're looking for a similarly styled bag that's just going to give you a little more flexibility, and that's going to be one of the best options to take a look at. If you have a little bit of a tighter budget, another bag this made me think of is the Burton Tinder Pack, which has a very similar aesthetic and layout. It's a top loading bag that has a similar kind of heritage style vibe. It has a lot of space. It has a big bucket that you can just toss a ton of stuff into. Simple organizational layout. It also has a nice laptop sleeve, and that one's not going to have the same build quality or harness system as this bag here, but it is offered in a lot of color combinations, and it comes in at under $100. So if you like this type of a bag, but you just want to save a little bit of money, then that's going to be a great option to keep in mind. And then the last option that I'll mention here is the GoRuck GR1, which is still one of my favorite everyday carry bags of all time. It just has a rock solid build quality. I really love the simple layout that it has. It has a clamshell opening to allow you to pack everything very easily. Just a few small zippered pockets. So like this, it's a pretty minimal bag, and because it has MOLLE webbing, you can actually configure it with a bunch of different accessories so you can make sure that it fits to your packing style. That one also has a very nice and well protected laptop compartment, and it's also in a similar price range. So if that seems a little bit more like your style of bag, or you're looking for something that's a little more tactical and that you can have the confidence that it's going to be with you for many years to come, then the GoRuck GR1 is still going to be another great option to take a look at. With that being said, the Shadow Guide 23 holds up pretty well against all those bags, and if you have a little bit of a higher budget and you're looking for a bag that's just going to offer ultimate simplicity and a lot of space in a really small form factor that's going to hold up well over the longer term, and this is going to be a fantastic option to take a look at. And I'm definitely curious to hear what you guys think of the Shadow Guide 23 and how it compares to some of the other great bags from Tom Bihn that we featured on the channel in the past. And if there are any similar options that you think I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I want to thank the company again for sending the bag for me to test out. And if you found this video helpful, please give us a like. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.